to run the train. Hey guys, welcome back to Studio 516. Today I have a new type of video for you. We're going to do some of the movie news that came out in the past week and see my thoughts on it and see if you heard anything about these topics in general. First thing I want to get into here is John Wick 4 being announced. Release date is 2021. We are getting a John Wick 4. Spoiler if you haven't seen John Wick 3, but it was announced to the public. And I can't be more happy because this franchise is just off the wall great when it comes to action, and the story just reels you in. Even that it started all with one dog getting killed and a car getting stolen. But I can't wait. I'll be there day one. Now to get into some Ghostbusters news. Well, we haven't heard much about the third movie yet. Well, third, fourth, whatever they're considering it. We know that's coming out, but Dan Aykroyd actually came out and said he has a script written for a Ghostbusters prequel. I'm going to be honest, I'm not actually excited for this news because what are you really going to do before Ghostbusters that's going to intrigue us enough to go see it? Like, yeah, the name Ghostbusters makes us want to go see it in general, but what story is there before they all met up and became the Ghostbusters? Keeping this rolling, we're going to get into some Quentin Tarantino news. If you haven't seen it yet, the trailer is up for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and there's a reaction a few videos back on this channel. My question with this news of it being his 9th movie, we all know, or at least I knew, he came out and said he was only going to do 9 movies. Me personally, I don't see that being the case, but what do you guys think? Do you think this is his last film? Or does Tarantino have some more left in the tank? Let me know what you think down below. I think he's not done yet, and I sure hope he's not, because he's one of the greatest directors of our lifetime, at least, if not all time. Keeping everything rolling, we're going to get into Mortal Kombat. One of the best video game movies of all time is coming out again, but with James Wan as the director. And I'm personally not a big fan of the Mortal Kombat games. I never really got into them throughout my childhood or even my being a teenager playing video games all the time, and never got into Mortal Kombat that much. I am excited though because of that name, James Wan. James Wan has done nothing but kill it in the past few years when it comes to horror movies, and Mortal Kombat has a darker side to it. I feel like he can kill it when it comes to making an action horror element video game movie, just because he directed Fast and Furious movie, he's done Saw, Conjuring franchise. I think this is going to be a good movie going forward. Some news out of Star Wars lately that happened about a week or two ago. The showrunners of Game of Thrones will be directing their own trilogy starting in 2021, I believe, and coming out every other year for 3 movies. And I'm only on season 4 of Game of Thrones myself, but from what I've been seeing online, they didn't do a great job on season 8 and maybe even 7, and outside of Game of Thrones they haven't made anything really impressive. So I'm not too thrilled about the announcement, but I am excited to see where it goes because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and Game of Thrones has been climbing the ladder of my favorite shows just from the first 4 seasons. This last bit of news that I want to get into is from one of my all-time favorite directors. I've said that a few times in this video probably because I love Tarantino, but Christopher Nolan to me has not made a bad movie. His movies go from pretty good to amazing, and that's about it. Dunkirk was one of my favorite movies of 2 years ago. Batman Begins is one of the best movies. Batman The Dark Knight Rises is probably the best Batman movie for the masses, at least. And he made films like Inception, but the news coming out is his next film is going to be named Tenet. starring Robert Pattinson, who I'm a big fan of and might be our next Batman. I thought it was reported that he is, but comes out that he's not officially Batman yet. He's just on the top of the list. Conflicting reports regarding that. And John David Washington in a spy thriller movie, and that sounds amazing, and I will be there day one, because Nolan can't do any wrong, at least yet. Yeah, everyone has that mess up once in a while, but he hasn't had it yet. I don't see this being it. And Robert Pattinson, to me, is one of the great indie actors we have working today. And John David Washington has been on the uprise. I remember watching him back in Ballers when he first started. Being like, alright, he's okay. But then seeing him in BlacKkKlansman and Monsters and Men last year, he just blew it out of the water for me. So that's all the movie news I'm going to discuss today. Let me know what you think of these announcements, your opinion on if Tarantino's done or not. If you're excited for Christopher Nolan's next movie, John Wick 4, are you happy about it? I'm sure you are. And let me know if you want me to do some more news in the weeks to come and keep this series going. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell. And we'll see you next time.